Welcome back to our Mini 7 feed. Richard John Neal here with special guest Stephen Colbrand. Welcome to the box, mate. Good
Hello,
to see
Richard.
you here.
Thank you very much. Nice to be up here. Great view.
Yeah, it is. So what's the news? I think you've got a bit of history for us to start off with, to put perspective around.
Yeah, so this is the Mini 7s. You may have seen the Mini Miglias and the Libras earlier on today. This is the original formula. First race ever for the Mini 7s was here at the Mini Festival in 1966. Won by Bob Fox.
I don't even remember him. I'd look old, but even I don't remember him.
Well, it was way before I was born. 20 years before I was born. So that's the history of the club and the series.
Very good. Yeah, I've known loads of people over the years that are racing here. When you guested at Thruxton, we had some of the dads, you know, that were in the junior championship that used to race, were thinking about coming back to it. And you always meet people, whatever sphere of motorsport you go into, you meet people that have raced in or loved watching Mini Miglia or Mini 7s.
Yeah, and I suppose back in the day, a lot of the touring car drivers would have started out racing minis, whether that was grass track, whether that was Mini 7.
Yeah.
Even drag racing minis, perhaps. There's a huge following for the mini still, and a lot of people have a lot of fond memories of racing these professional drivers now that are still out there.
And you're a racer yourself?
Yeah. So I race an S-Class. I'm not racing an S-Class. I'm up here with you, obviously. But the S-Class is at the back of the grid there. Two separate grids. So you've got the Mini 7s at the front, which are the highly tuned 998cc based engines. Straight cut gearboxes, straight cut drops, so they sound a lot more aggressive. Should be faster in theory. The front ones are very fast.
Right.
And then you've got the S-Class at the back, which is Scholarship. So they're the 1275 based cars, a bit more standard, not quite as highly tuned, don't have the straight cut gearboxes that you hear just there. The fastest S-Class will mix it up here with the slowest of the 7, so it always makes a fantastic race.
Looking at the results, I've seen that Scott Kendall has been chomping his way through the field quite a bit.
Scott Kendall has won every single race this year in the S-Class.
Yeah.
So he started out at the back of the grid in that last race.
He had problems in qualifying, did he? Or
I think he went off.
Oh, he went off?
Yeah.
Better to do it in quali than in the race, I suppose.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
What a show-off.
Wow.
But he's a good lad. I've commentated him, obviously, in other mini racing. I think he's, Joe Polly told me he's an ex-oval stock car driver as well.
I think he is. I know his young son races the little ninja kart, little sprint car thing. So yeah, he's got some history on the ovals as well.
It's going to get expensive for him, isn't it? Going through the years, it really is going to get a bit of a that could get expensive for dads, can't it?
Yeah, but they love it. I mean, most of the guys here live for this, so it is a hobby. It's not a professional racing series, but still, they live for it. So
Darren Thomas, yesterday's race winner, is on pole position. Jeff Smith alongside.
Jeff Smith, obviously former touring car driver.
Yeah.
He's been doing very well this year, but he hasn't run away with it, which is fantastic for the other drivers, because it shows that while it is competitive, you can get a professional level driver in, and they're still not quite at the front all the time. So.
And the other thing I love about Jeff is that, a lot of drivers don't take themselves overly serious. They'll come and have the fun, enjoy it, effectively put a reputation online, but come and do it. A bit like Blundell has, in the touring cars. Yeah. The poor guy's been getting so much stick, but he's out there and he's trying to learn it and do it. Fair play. But yeah, Jeff's delivering, and Josie's other half, she's out there as well, isn't she?
Joe Polly, obviously a famous dad, George Polly, famous from the ovals. 306, he used to race Ford Anglia.
I'll never forget the first time I met him. I asked him for his autograph just after my brother asked him. He goes, "If you come down again, I'm going to charge you." He was joking, but he was
always down to earth.
Yeah, good lad. Yeah.
I think he carried on racing probably till the late 80s, early 90s.
There's a dynasty now of Pollys, isn't there, as well?
Yeah.
There's stock cars and all sorts of other.
Yeah. A lot of F2 stock cars as well, I believe. So.
Joe Thompson out there as well. Spencer Wanstall on the outside of the front. Now, I did some sums last night. I reckon Thompson leading the championship from Don Berger, Devaney up to third. Does that sound about right?
Yep, that's right. It depends on the first race. We had a bit of controversy with the start of the first race.
Right.
So that is still pending. The result is still pending. So it depends on that. There's a couple of points either way. So that may make a difference,
Just pointing out, we were talking about George Polly, the green and white car is very reminiscent of a 1973 George Polly Escort livery.
Is it really? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know whether that's intentional or whether that's a coincidence, but I guess it would have been on a Polly car if needs be. Anyway, Anorak aside, to get on with the race with Darren Thomas and Jeff Smith on the front row of the grid. Joe Thompson and Spencer Wanstall next up. and they all make a pretty decent enough start of it. And also, can we point out which car is it? Is Ollie Window? Can we see him as well? The guy who was commentating with us earlier on, just so our viewers know.
He's just going through paddock there, just behind Don Berger,
27.
number 27. Yeah.
Right. So those of you that were listening to Ollie, which is great to have his company up here earlier on, that's who it was that was talking. It's a good start by Darren Thomas. Jeff Smith in second position. Spencer Wanstall next up from Joe Thompson, who's doubling up as well.
Yeah, he's doubling up. He's the only driver this weekend to be racing in both, and he's put a fine performance earlier in the Miglia until the end of the drive shaft fell off. So, but hopefully, we shouldn't say stuff like that, should we, in the commentary box? But he's having a fine run in the lead of the championship.
Problem there for the 795 being pushed out.
That's Stuart Gilby in the S-Class. That's a real shame. He's had a fantastic season so far. He's really making some progress. Shame to see him go out.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a pity. But these cars make a superb. So I wonder how many people, are watching this, maybe at the circuit and thinking about coming racing. This is very accessible, isn't it?
If you want to do it, look towards the back of the field for the S-Class, which is what I'm doing. As Jeff Smith goes right down the outside. No, he's not going to make it through there. Darren Thomas, Rune Speed, builds his own engines and he's lightning fast. He won both races at Thruxton.
Oh, massive moment there for Spencer Wanstall in the number 2. Held on to it, still holds position as well. And he's in the red car on the inside line. I think he might have lost out to Joe Thompson, who's on the outside line. And really, I was going to say a pack for the lead, but basically it's the whole grid that are pretty much all still together here on this second lap of the race. So Thomas still out front. See what Jeff Smith can do in terms of closing in and maybe having a little nibble at him. Takes a nice wider line here from Jeff. Do you know what? I was in the TV compound truck when he got pole position in the touring cars that time.
Fantastic.
Absolutely mega.
And he goes down the inside.
There he is. Look at that. Having a look there and can't quite get the momentum to go through on the inside line. So it's the 20 car still there. Darren Thomas back from Gloucester. D. Thomas Auto's car who leads this one across the line again. These two starting to try and develop a bit of a gap.
They are working together. That's the key to this. Although they're only minis, they do need to be slipstreaming because they don't have a huge amount of power.
Saw Nick Padmore yesterday build up an 8-second lead in the Miglias and was a lot closer to today's race.
He was racing on his own yesterday, wasn't he? He was fantastic.
He was, yeah. And
there's quite a headwind here actually today, coming down the straight, I'm going to call it.
Yeah, Cooper Straight,
There you
appropriately enough. So Jeff Smith having another look. If he's not careful, he's going to have Joe Thompson all over the back of him at the moment in the white and red chasing number 4 car. Thompson, by my reckoning, championship leader by 8 points coming into this. So it's my maths from last night. That is so reminiscent of that Poly car, that 77 machine.
Too right, but don't forget, there's also drop scores to come into this. So 4 rounds they can lose.
It's quite a lot, isn't there? And I was saying to Ollie earlier on, it's quite generous, but it's good because you've all got to go to work. You might have family commitments, holidays, stuff like that, and it builds that in.
That's it. And we always have an overseas round. So we just got back from Zandvoort, and obviously not everyone can afford to go over to Zandvoort racing. So it means that you can drop a couple and still win the championship.
Superb stuff going on here. Now we've got Spencer Wanstall trying to get in the mix as well in the number 2. So, and a wide moment there. Darren Thomas went very wide. Now, how much momentum has that scrubbed off? Enough for Jeff Smith to look up the inside line as he goes to Drews and grab the lead. The 35 car is through. Devaney going right the way around the outside line with the burn up from Don Berger getting in the mix as well. I might have to nick a line from David Addison, who said fast food for Berger at Thruxton, which was a typical Addisonism.
His name's actually Berger, but he's asked me before the race to continue calling him Berger because everyone knows him as that now. So
that's really? Oh, well, there we go. Well,
Spencer Wanstall had a bit of an off yesterday. They rebuilt that car. It looked really bad, but there are only carbon fibre fronts on these cars, so superficial damage, straight back out again. A very strong car from Right Line Performance, that one.
Still running in that 4th position, 15 minutes still on the clock. And now, here we go, the resurgent Darren Thomas looks to the outside line of Jeff Smith. Jeff's got potentially a car to the inside line as well. See whether that is going to change as they go down to Halewoods. And Darren's having a look up the inside line. Devaney in the mix as well. Behind them, Berger, I'm going to call him that. Ollie Window next up. Then it's the 94 car going through as well. It's Lee Roberts is next up. But Jeff Smith holding sway here at the moment in the 35. Time to dig my stats out and see what Jeff's been up to the rest of the season.
There's absolutely no way you can call this at this point. 15 minutes to go. Realistically, another, 13 laps, I would say, into this. This could still be anyone's. In that top 5, top 6.
It's just a big pack, isn't it? So Jeff He's looking for his first race win of the year.
Meanwhile, Scott Kendall is miles ahead in the S-Class as he has been all season. He's actually going for a national type record of trying to win every single race this season. He's on form for it so far.
So that's the kind of Andy Prio standard, isn't it? From the was it Renault Spider days when Prio managed to again before you were born? Probably.
Yeah, I was going to say you're the expert on that one.
But yeah, it's not done very often for sure.
Don Berger down the inside of Andrew Devaney there.
Yeah, he's having a look, isn't he?
And he's made it stick.
He has. So still Jeff Smith out front, soaking up the pressure at the moment. And Thompson side by side with Wanstall. Let's see whether he could go. Devaney right the way around the outside. Right, a bit of rally crossing there. I remember watching rallycross cars here.
Going across that section of the track. So we've got Ollie Window coming up there as well, who's commentating earlier on for us. He's really coming through. He's got SMG support. Unfortunately, Wayne Greer couldn't be here. He had to go home for the Miglia race earlier on. But so big up to Wayne if you're watching.
So Ollie in the 27 car, Monmouthshire man apparently. So I didn't quite nail down the accent when he was in the box.
South Wales.
South Wales.
Yeah,
yeah.
But doesn't speak Welsh.
Does he not?
No.
I bet they love him. But 2016 novice champion. So
he is.
He's getting to grips with it. How many seasons does it take from brand new, do you think, to get to overall championship?
It really depends. I mean, Joe Thompson there is only his second full season now, and he's leading the championship, and he's 19 years old.
But he's a second gen driver, so there's a bit of.
Well, I suppose so. Yeah, he's always been around minis, and always been around Mini 7s, I should say, with his dad Paul.
Yeah.
Multiple champion, so that definitely helps.
And
but
Paul Thompson's not the Paul Thompson dad of Bobby Thompson touring cars, is it? It's a different Paul Thompson.
Very different Thompson, yeah.
Completely different. I love the way you say completely. You almost know them, don't you? I'm guessing.
Yeah. No, he won't mind me saying very different Thompson.
Because a lot of people always ask
that. And Spencer has dropped back.
He has, isn't he?
So he must have gone off. Sorry, we were chatting.
Berger and Devaney, yep. Then we missed that. Nothing wrong with a bit of banter. Now, Ollie's taken out. Could have maybe got off the gas a little bit there, but perhaps also didn't have time to do that because that car was right in front of him.
The trouble is with these cars, when you do let off, the back will step out because they're very loose on the back, so you have to keep it pinned. Well, and someone's gone off into the gravel just on the start-finish straight down here.
Yep, that's going to be a safety car, I think. That's going to eat into the track time, which is a pity. We'll try and nail that for you.
There you go.
And see who that is. Driver's out.
That is Ollie Window. So Ollie Window's gone straight off. I wonder if he's sustained some damage in that impact with Andrew Devaney just there.
It could well be. He's now going to come up to the commentary box.
Fuming. He's lost a light as well. So
yeah, that's a shame. That's a shame. And he was really getting stuck in there.
So do you think this is going to be a safety car now then?
I would be, yeah. To me, that's a prone position there. We got the waved yellows.
Okay, but they're still racing.
Because he was at the front of the field, the race directors may well take the view that the majority of the field know that car's there and therefore know that the yellow flags are out there.
Okay.
But they might, I don't know, to me that's prone. I've not done the training course, but you know they want to give as many laps as possible to these guys and keep it going. And it's always a difficult decision being a clerk of the course to do that. But
so we've got another train here. It's Tina Cooper at the front, 1992 champion, or only a female champion, lady racer, very fast, and she's holding off Julian Proctor there. And we've got Conor O'Brien. It's very hard to tell because Scott Kendall and Conor O'Brien's cars look exactly the same.
And what's the story with Tina coming back? Is this a one-off, or is she going to dip her toe in the water
she's been back for a few years now. She's raced a Lotus as well. She's got.
I was going to say this is the first mini race this year though, because I looked through the stats for this year. Is that right?
Is it really? Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure on that one. She is a regular racer, so she is out for most of the season normally. And are they still at full race speed there?
See, where is Tina?
We're missing, unfortunately, right now. Joe Thompson's going very impressed.
Goodness me, yeah, it is 3, isn't it, for the lead? So they're going up to into clearways. Great big group of cars all getting stuck in as we watch Tina Cooper on screen, but the lead train, as it were, coming into what was the yellow flag zone.
If we can switch to that would be fantastic right now, because that's an incredible battle. There we go. Thank you very much.
Look at that. Great stuff from the director. So the outside line for the pole position man, Darren Thomas, is there. Jeff Smith on the outside line, then Joe Thompson on the inside, and going high, wide and handsome again. To quote Brian Jones, is Spencer Wanstall, who's going right the way around the outside of Jeff Smith. Can he make it stick? I thought the back end was going to wallop round them, but it didn't. Well held.
Excellent. Yeah, I mean, former grass track racer Spencer, and he knows how to get out there on the rough stuff. He's absolutely fine. When it gets wet as well, he's particularly fast.
The grass track racing is all about throwing the car into the corner, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It's a totally different discipline to this, but it brings things that you can use.
Confidence. Yeah. Throwing it in and not worrying too much about it, and it will grip. Especially, I mean, with the minis, they will grip eventually. If you keep your foot planted, it will go. Yeah. So Darren Thomas out front again.
Yeah, he is. So good stuff from him. Thompson is in second position. Then Jeff Smith. Then the 28 car is next up. Tom Berger back in the mix, and on the inside line now comes Spencer Wanstall, who's challenging side by side for that fourth place. As you said, right from the word go, any of these.
Anyone's race. And as Joe goes down the outside into paddock, last of the late breakers, can he make it? Probably not around the outside of Darren, I wouldn't think. He's a very experienced racer there.
Gonna give it a go, rides the curbs just a little bit.
Not quite.
Not quite. Love that shot with the trees there as you go. Really, Brand's one of the most picturesque circuits that you can come to here in the UK, but this is being well led by Darren Thomas at the moment. Thompson goes on the outside line of Jeff Smith to see if he can have a go. Can't quite hang in. Smith will come across. Not too defensively, actually, Jeff Smith in that all-white car as Berger nips up the inside line here of Spencer Wanstall, grabs the curb, dislodges the car. Saw him lose a little bit of momentum as a result of that.
And those curbs are fierce in the Mini. From experience of hitting those curbs, they are very fierce, so you do not want to be hitting those. It will knock the tracking out.
So still Darren Thomas there. I tell you what, is this going to be a case of the race that we saw at Thruxton, particularly for the Melias, where you don't want to be in the lead on the last lap? I'm
not sure. No, I would say probably not so much here at Brands Hatch, because it's very easy to be defensive around here.
Jeff Smith back into the lead, grabs the inside line, saw the gap, he's got the momentum, back into lead position as they cross the line. Thompson now up into second place. Thomas is down to third. Make that fourth because Spencer Wanstall goes up the inside line. And now we've got Don Berger coming up into the mix as well on the outside. So any one of these top five. Sixth position is the 94 car. It's Lee Roberts, who is away. It really is about this quintet. No disrespect to anybody else in the race. Where has Scott Kendall got to? He's up into seventh. He's the car behind Roberts.
This is an incredible battle. We lost a bumper there. A little bit of contact.
Yeah, no, he's not bad enough to get the black and orange flag, I wonder. We've got a couple of guys who've got bits and bobs sort of hanging a little bit awry, but I don't think that's a problem.
When you're racing this close, things happen. Things happen. They're replaceable.
So Wanstall back into second. Jeff Smith down to third, has got a fight again. Tom Berger next up, and Darren Thomas, the long-term leader, back in fifth place. And we've still got 7 minutes of this to go. Let's see what Jeff Smith can do. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Into the
James Bryan S-Class has gone up into paddock.
Yep.
Or is it further round?
There's some rescue work going on there.
Now let's see. This could be interesting because you can have obviously waved yellows in two places on the track then, and this could really affect the race. Not allowed to overtake under waved yellows.
No, absolutely right. So through they come with Thompson looking to extend the championship lead here. Don Berger second in the championship. We lost Devaney earlier on, so he who gained third place in the championship will have lost out. Jeff Smith will take third place in the championship, and then Lee Roberts is sixth in the standings by my count, so he's looking to do well here.
As we look at Conor O'Brien there, in second in the S-Class, coming through to overtake Tina Cooper, or try to at least.
Yeah, he's getting stuck in, isn't he? And
you see the performance between these cars is virtually the same. The cars are the same, the engines are different.
Yeah, and different handling.
No, they handle basically exactly the same car. They just have a very different torque characteristic, I suppose. So certain tracks do favour the S-Class. They just start at the back, so now they're mixing it up in there.
That's good. And is that the way forward for the championship, or?
Difficult subject.
All right, okay. Well,
kind of worms, I would think. Let's just say at the moment we've got an excellent show, so that's probably the best.
There's nothing wrong with having two-class racing if they're intermingled.
No, too right. So. It's just we're still their own grids, perhaps.
Yeah. Okay. So
if we look at Joey Thompson, still leading.
He is. Yeah. The leader's coming down into Cooper Straight at the moment, and Thompson still there from Spencer Wanstall. Then Jeff Smith, Don Berger dropping back a little bit now. He's poleman Darren Thomas, so maybe having a breather, might get a second wind as it were as we pick up with Jeff Smith once again going into clearways. That's definitely where you don't want to leave a gap on the inside, and nobody is really, I've got to say. Absolutely the racecraft here absolutely superb with these top five. Yeah,
as good as it gets. I think if you put these guys in a touring car, they'd have the same battle. The encouraging thing here, I'd say, all of these cars, engines are all prepared by different people, the cars are all prepared by different people, and they're all on the same pace. So that's obviously the rules are working. As Spencer goes down the outside,
let's have a look. Yeah, he's going for it around the outside of Thompson. Is he going to be able to hang on to this without contact? He does. He's got his nose in front, but Thompson's got the inside line as they come up towards Druid, side by side still, and Spencer Wanstall can't quite do it. Is he going to stay with that outside line? Potentially now get Jeff Smith in the mix as well, but by hanging on to the outside he's got the line, but Smith's going to have a look. No, he isn't at Graham Hill Bend to come back into it, but great Mini 7 racing once again So it's Thompson, one still, then Jeff Smith in third place, and I tell you what, Thomas is closing up again as well.
And he's on the back of that pack.
Yeah.
Honestly, it could still be any one of these top 5. As we've got just under 5 minutes to go now. Joe Thompson, he's only 19, but he's got a very mature racing head on him. He has a lot of track experience. So we'll see how he holds under the pressure here. I think he's going to be absolutely fine. But local man Spencer Wanstall did take both wins at the last round at Zandvoort, so he's flying as well. So
yeah, a little bit of momentum always counts for something, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
So into Paddock Hill Bend they go.
Oh, Spencer's very sideways through there and around the outside.
Oh!
And his grass tracking pays off.
Oh, absolutely.
And he's still in third.
Young drivers should go out and do a little bit of autograssing, shouldn't they? And
absolutely.
I was making the comment on the Melia commentary earlier on that autograss is actually the only, to my mind, the only short track racing that has a proper national championship, because they have the grass track nationals once a year where the representatives from every club across the UK get together. Mega event, but
Huge.
also the driving stand is absolutely superb.
Car control and the loose stuff really helps, especially in the rain with these minis.
Yeah. Jeff Smith coming under pressure from Don Berger. That could leave the top 2 to maybe go clear now as Thomas looks down the inside line.
Ooh.
Was there a little There
was a reasonably large touch, I'd say. 2 into 1 does not go through there.
But they shake hands and get on with it afterwards. This
They'll
is
be
part and
absolutely
parcel of it, isn't it?
Yeah, they'll be
and
fine.
I love what you said about the fact that we've got different teams, different engine builders. Just shows how close the regulations are and how well it works.
The thing is, there's a limit to how far you can go. As Spencer goes down the inside, not quite. It's a perspective thing, that, isn't it, I think, into that corner.
Yeah, definitely right. Although I thought he was getting close there again, but he's got Jeff Smith worrying him as well now. So Jeff looking to try and get back into second, then ultimately we'll try and get the 35 car back into the lead as well if he can. But Thompson doing a good job at the moment out the front with 3 minutes to go on the clock. So 4 more laps, I reckon, of this race.
Just looking at lap times, they're a fair way off the lap record. So the conditions obviously not completely perfect. There is reasonably strong headwinds going down Cooper Street there. So
next round, where's the next round?
That's a good question. Next round is back here. Is back here in 3 weeks' time at the DTM.
Ah, okay, very high profile again. So you've got some really good dates this year. And are you racing that one?
I'm not. I'm not racing that one. No, I'm actually at the International Mini Meeting, which is the 60th anniversary of the Mini, down in Bristol. So
excellent.
That'd be fantastic.
That'll be good.
Unfortunately missing this one, but...
it's a shame. Glenn Woodbridge there in the, I think, Glenn, another ex-oval driver, comes from Marlow. Do I remember the name from Superstocks Racing?
That's it, yeah. Speedworth Superstocks, I believe. I think his dad still races a 2-litre hot rod.
Right, okay, that's a tough formula as well. That's originally the formula where Derek Warwick came through.
Too right, yeah.
And produced a number of good drivers over the years. As we head back again with
Joe
this
is still holding them off.
This is incredible, isn't it? Spencer Wanstall coming under big pressure from Jeff Smith again, and Jeff's driven a good, dogged, determined race here, and he's got the inside line. Has he got the momentum to pop it up the inside as they go into Surtees? We'll see whether he can, and he's got the line.
And that will be absolutely flat out through there.
Spencer hung on the outside line, converts to the inside as you come back into McLaren and then into Clearways. So Jeff being made to work hard around the outside.
And now it's going to go 3 abreast down the straight as Don Berger comes through. They're going to get what's called a double...
Oh, no, that's going to be a nasty
big
one.
Crash.
Fingers crossed they don't go into the barriers.
They're okay.
Oh,
they're okay.
They're okay. That could have, obviously, Spencer not happy, but
Spencer not happy at all.
That could have been a lot worse.
I mean, looking from here, that was just a case you didn't see him.
Yeah.
Racing instant, I would say. Unfortunate.
Yeah, very close racing. Spencer will, I guess, look back at the feed afterwards, and it's given us 2 cars now for the lead, maybe 3 because we've got Darren Thomas trying to come back in as well on these last 2 laps. We've got the black and white driving standards flag going out. Not sure who that's for, but just keeping everyone on their toes.
Both of them.
So come on then, stick your money on who's going to be.
Well, I hope Joe Thompson, because I'm good friends with him, but I'm friends with everyone here, but I'm going Joe Thompson because he's my favourite.
He's earned it, isn't he, so far? We're holding off Spencer, now Jeff Smith as well, and Darren Thomas trying to get back into it. Looks like he might well do it in that number 4 car.
So Spencer is parking it right there.
That's on the exit, Graham
So
Hill Bend,
I would say this is probably going to call it now. We've got 30 seconds to go. However, there's going to be yellows in a couple of places
by the
on
way,
the track.
Spencer's infringed track limits there.
Just a little bit. I think if you go over those, you do get a photo. So he's going to have a lovely photo for the photo album.
It's a bit like Alton Towers, isn't it? You know, we do the grin at the end of it. which he won't do.
that's
It's
a
a shame to see him leave that race now.
So-
As Jeff Smith's got the inside line on the last lap. Smith, is this about timing? Throws it into Druids and has got through into the lead. What about that? Now, can Thompson fight back? There are going to be yellow flags at Graham Hill Bend the next corner. The clock has very nearly run down, but Jeff Smith, has he timed that to perfection?
I think he may well have done, yeah, unless Joe can get a good run up round to the last complex.
Just in the back of shot there, Spencer was gesticulating.
Not.
So a little bit of controversy. It is racing. You, from time to time, get that. You don't always want to see it, which is a big shame. But back to this and the photo finish. Is it going to be a photo finish? Jeff Smith's still the leader. And Thompson in second place. Thomas is in third. It's going to be Jeff Smith who takes the first win of the season. There's the checker flag. Jeff Smith does it. Superb stuff from Joe Thompson from fourth on the grid. And then Darren Thomas, the pole position man, was next up. Don Berger will take fourth, which he has done, from Scott Kendall, who comes through for fifth and wins the S-Class.
What a race. That was awesome. Fantastic mini racing. Unfortunate to see a bit of contact there.
Yeah, a little bit of a shame, and I hope the guys can shake hands and see through that.
I'm sure they will when they see the video back.
Yeah, it was just one of those things that you get, as you say, when you have that very, very close racing.
So there's actually 2 wins from 2 here for Jeff Smith. On the road, at least. We're not confirmed yesterday with the results, so it may well be Darren Thomas that won the race yesterday.
Right.
All up in the air at the moment.
Okay, but we enjoy, as I say, when you're circuit commentating or TV commentating or live feed, all you can do is call it as we see it on screen.
Absolutely,
and,
yeah.
That's what the race fans
And Jeff won that fair and
square.
square. Fantastic result for Jeff.
Yeah, superb move, wasn't it, on that final lap to do that.
And I hope we have many more battles like that throughout the rest of the season. If you fancy coming to join us, mini7.co.uk, you can have a look at the calendar, find your local round and come and watch. Very friendly.
Heartily recommend that.
Yeah, come down, look at the cars, sit in the cars. We're not professional race teams or anything, so you can get involved, come and look, go right in depth, ask all the questions you need to if you're coming out with us. Then.
And what was it that spurred your decision? I mean, obviously you're interested in cars and all things mini and guess that, but what was it that actually got you to come and race?
It's a very friendly paddock, so if something goes wrong, anyone will help you. If you're missing a wheel arch, you need a certain spanner, somebody will be there to help
Apart
you.
from the guys that clattered each other.
They'll be friends again.
Yeah.
They'll be fine. Maybe not today.
No, it does pan itself out that way, doesn't it? But yeah, I've got to thank everyone at the Mini 7 Club for over the years, the fantastic entertainment they've given me as a spectator going back in the days.
Yeah.
Can't remember half the people that raced, probably on my list of champions somewhere along the line, but
it's always close
enjoyed
because they're so unaerodynamic, shaped like a small house brick. Then it does make very close racing. All limited power as well, so fantastic stuff.
Superb stuff, and great weather to have this as well. So so the DTM will be the GP circuit as well.
Full GP circuit, and all formulas are racing on the same race, if that makes sense. You're going to have 4 separate categories of racing, all on one grid, around about 40 or 50 minutes.
As well, didn't it?
It did, yeah, and it's a similar length track. It's, 2.5 miles, I'm going to say?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be a similar lap time, similar length track. So by the end of the race, the fastest of one group will catch up with the back markers of the other group.
Yeah, so they have to deal with that. And the key thing, again, Stephen, about this racing, without giving the hard sell, because I guess people that are watching the feed are interested in it anyway, but premium circuits that you race on. Brands Hatch Indy is a great place to come and race anyway. Yeah. Thruxton with the touring cars was obviously a good thing to work on. Zandvoort, which is now a Grand Prix circuit again from next year, and Brands Hatch
we've
GP
been
circuit.
Very fortunate this year with the 60th anniversary of the Mini that obviously they've seen some publicity in that. So in going to Thruxton for the BTCC.
But if you didn't deliver the racing, which you do,
absolutely.
nobody would ever argue that. You wouldn't get those invites.
And it was very much keep the racing exceptionally exciting, exceptionally clean for Thruxton, and we may be invited back. So you never know. Maybe next year we might go back and do another round with the BTCC.
I'm sure
they'll it was very popular in the crowds, at least. So
yeah, they were saying, could we have these instead of I won't say what other formally, but because I'll get into trouble. But yeah, people did really enjoy it, and it made great television as well.
Yeah, and these are affordable cars. Realistically, you can build a car in your garage at home and come and race.
How much?
Well,
I put you on the spot.
How much do you want to spend? You're going to be looking at about 10 to 15,000.
It's not a huge amount, is it, in motor racing?
And that will get you out on the grid.
Yeah.
You know, that's everything. That's race suit, crash helmet,
Yeah.
car. If you build it yourself, you might even do it cheaper than
I
that.
was chatting to a youngster during the lunch break who is racing Ginetta Junior at the moment.
Okay.
He wants to go and race something next year. I don't think he can afford anything that's on the Toka package. And he was saying, I want to race something that's front-wheel drive
Well,
to learn my craft.
yeah. Yeah,
Rather than
either
just come and
Mini 7s, S-Class, or even the Miglias.
Yeah.
Slick tyres that we saw earlier. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a fantastic stepping stone going up to whichever formula you want to go to from then, Ginettas or Clios or wherever you want to go. So,
That's a really good answer for these youngsters, isn't it? Why come, use a heck of a lot of budget?
And we have a special trophy for Graham Hill Trophy, Formula 1 champion, for under 17. So in the S-Class, anyone under 17 come and enter that. You get a trophy with Graham Hill's name on it. So
that's good, isn't it?
Yeah, just to encourage the autographs people out, I think.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them, 10 to 16-year-olds that race minis, so they can come out and join in.
That's a really nice touch.
Yeah, so there you go. There's another trophy.
Was Graham associated with the minis at all going back, or?
Yeah, he used to own Speedwell Tuning, which was all.
I never knew that.
Yeah, so mini parts tuning.
So a really good, strong historical connection there as well.
I don't know if you ever raced a mini, but there's certainly a few celebrity races here.
Probably
at some point, yeah. Yeah, it's fantastic to have the support of Damon that said, yep, fantastic, go for it. Put my father's name on the trophy. So that's...
You can't get better than that.
No, in terms of encouragement for getting young drivers out on the grid, that is awesome. So
absolutely superb.
Just makes you feel quite old, doesn't it?
Makes me feel old, yeah.
When there's a lot of drivers going around that haven't got a driving licence.
Yeah, that's always a concern for me. But good to see the future of British racing is in good hands with the likes of Ginetta Junior Racing and grassroots racing such as the Mini 7s and Mini Millions.
So if I'm going to put you on the spot, what's the best racer today that you've been commentating on?
I'm not allowed to say that because we've commentated on so much, but I genuinely have enjoyed all of it. Yep. It's all been absolutely spot on. So.
Yep.
And like yourself, it's the people. The reason you come into the sport, the reason I do the sport is for the people. It's a great thing to...
Absolutely. I'm going to say, actually, the 7 race there was probably closer than the Miglia race earlier.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
As we see the
without a doubt.
Range Rover coming around.
Yep.
So we've got Darren Thomas on the left, Scott Kendall, and that is Joe Thompson, sorry, in the black cap. And if I squint at the screen, we've got Conor O'Brien, Jeff Smith on the right, and at the back is Ben Butler.
Excellent.
He was a very successful champion fighter.
Is he?
Yeah.
At, what was that, kickboxing?
Ultimate.
Ultimate. Oh, there's so many of those.
Some kind of ultimate thing in a cage, yeah. I don't know.
So if you're going to shove somebody off the track, it's not him.
No, they're not allowed to do that. They are not allowed to do that.
No, I know they're pretty controlled, aren't they? With it. One of the JCW dads is the oldest kickboxer in the country, apparently.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So I'm not going to upset any of them.
No, they're very, very careful
they
on
are
that.
Controlled about
They will lose their license. So it's very much a professional thing that he does there.
Yeah.
Lovely chap.
I think what we're going to do on the podium is use the feed from the guy that's down there, which is Chris Dawes, who's the circuit commentator. Have you got someone up in the main box as well?
No.
You haven't?
Just me.
Just with us.
Just me, yeah.
That's great. That's excellent. So
well, most of the people are either racing or supporting somebody. So
yeah. I'm glad you came up. I really appreciate your help.
That's right.
And support, Steve.
I enjoyed
good
that.
To meet
you.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Good to get you up again sometime.
Maybe commentate on a race when I'm out next year, perhaps.
I look forward to that.
Yeah,
and,
give me a shout out.
If I'm not, I haven't commentated on because I think David, who my colleague on the touring car programs, has an association with Mini 7s and Mini Amelia going back quite a few years. So he tends to get dibs on doing mini races, but if I'm there watching, we'll certainly come and support you.
That would be awesome, yeah, fantastic.
Which would be great, but always a privilege to do, for sure. How they're getting on, the winners are nearly there. I've got to say, your guys are quicker at getting up onto the podium than the JCWs. Mind you, we've got to
they want to go home probably,
well.
They've got a job to go to tomorrow, so they're probably, here we go, onto the podium.
So coming out onto the, it is Chris Dawes doing the honours here. And Ben,
S-Class, third place.
I can hear him now. I don't need to guess this is Connor because I heard him.
That's Connor.
He wants to get stuck into the alcohol straight away by the look of it. He's gone straight for the cork. You notice that?
So all 3 of these drivers have progressed in the Mighty Minis.
Oh, okay.
So long-term mini races.
Yeah.
I think Ben still races Mighty Minis as well, actually. Does both, yeah.
Do both.
Yeah.
The one place you don't want to be on the podium, and I said this before earlier on today, is you don't want to be on the podium when they open the champagne. I've had many a...
So the cameraman right there is going to get a faceful.
Yeah, unfortunately. We did a Formula 3000. Alan Hyde, bless him, put me on a... Oh, there we go.
Now, it all depends if they've shaken the bottle before they open it, I think.
He was prepared, wasn't he?
That's going down his ovals. There you go.
Alan Hyde made me do a Formula 3000 podium at Donington once, and it was when, it was tell you how long ago, it was Felipe Massa was in it.
Right.
Formula 3000, so years and years ago. And I got this lovely leather jacket, and Alan Hyde obviously thought, I'll sort him out. On the podium, ruined.
No.
Let's go down and have the interviews anyway.
But yeah, once you get the clean air, you can concentrate and just good laps in. And the front pack was really fighting.
They were, and I mean, it great after what started as a bad day yesterday. You've really turned this one around.
Yeah, from obviously parking in the gravel in qualifying, yeah, no, it's turned out all right.
Everyone else enjoyed qualifying, by the way, in case you wondered. Second place, Connor. Another one, a much better day than yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday was one of the worst race days I've ever had.
You were good at your hill start in the end, by the way.
Yeah, I didn't do it there. They would knock the ignition off, so I had to. That was a bad start. But yeah, as soon as I got out of the way, the slow sevens that were holding me up, I won't say about anyone. Yeah, it was quite trying to catch up to him then, but you're never going to do it as soon as he's clear. But yeah, good race.
It was, well done, great job. And in third place, Ben Butler, you didn't have a quiet race at all, did you? You were under massive pressure for that podium spot.
Honestly, you wouldn't believe. I fought so hard for that. I was held up quite a while, and I didn't think I was going to do it, but I managed to pull it out of the bag, so I'm over the moon.
Well done, cracking job. Well done, guys. So there we go. We'll clear that one off, and we'll still have now time. So that is the Mini 7 S-Class. Thanks, guys. Come on through. And well done, gents. Well done. Well done. And we now move our attention to the Mini 7 class. And in third place, it is car number 20, Darren Thomas. Come on through, Darren. Well done. Up onto the third step he comes. In second place, car number 4, Joe Thompson. Well done, Joe. Big cheer from down there. But the victory was taken in the end. Car number 35, Jeff Smith. Well done, Jeff. Up he goes, up onto the top step. Well done, Stephen. Before you do anything with that champagne, just pause. There's a couple of photos being taken of you down there, and I'm going to dive in because we do this interview before we get going. Jeff, congratulations. I mean, wow, that really could have gone any which way, and it normally did.
That was pretty tense, wasn't it? That was really good, swapping from first to third to second to third to first. It was, yeah, really, really good close racing, so fantastic. And nobody's took it off me yet today, so we're doing all right.
I was going to wind you up, but I bottled it, I'll be honest. But no, I mean, it really, what a great way to make up for it, though.
Yeah, I think my engine's a bit cooked. It was 143 on the oil, so it given up looking at the water gate.
Good idea. You got it through. Great victory. And in second place, Joe, I mean, you started third on the grid. You did have the lead for a chunk of time. I mean, it's one of those ones, second place, you've got to be delighted with, but frustrated as well.
I mean, it's still good for the championship, more points. And yeah, same as Jeff, just watching the water temperature all day round, trying to find as much clear air as we could. But yeah, no, fair play to him. Did a brilliant move on the last lap and got me fair and square. So yeah, mega race, all in thanks. And a big thank you to all the support from the Mandem down there.
Well done, great job. Darren Thomas, I could almost see it in your face when you came on. It's kind of bittersweet by the looks of it for you. You enjoyed the pole and you could have got the win, but it got a bit brutal.
I could have done. There's some really good drivers out there. We all had a nice race. It's a result right for that.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad to see it because I just thought that you looked a bit disappointed in your face.
No, I've got a disappointed looking face.
Well done, a great job. So that is the top 3. And so, Mark, back to you for the next race, and I'll make my way up now.
So there's our podium from Mini 7 race, absolutely superb. I've got a number of thank yous to do. First of all, thank you to the drivers for putting on great racing, Mini Melia and Mini 7. Se7en Colbrand, thank you for joining us in the comments. Absolute pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Up here. Look forward to seeing you on track sometime soon. And those guys here for coming and watching. For everyone who's been watching the live stream, share the link, share the love.
And one final one, a big thanks to Mini Spares who have made this possible by sponsoring our video as well.
That's really decent of him. So yeah, share away if you've enjoyed it, and hopefully we'll have the pleasure of your company again. So from Se7en Colbrand and myself, Richard, John Neal, and all the team here today for the Mini Melia and Mini 7 live stream. Have a great rest of the day. Enjoy watching the racing again, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.